And we love salute. What's good? Y'all already know what time it is with me. Do me a favor before you walk in my house. Take your shoes off, dust your feet off, sit back and enjoy the ride. And remember to do all that typical YouTube shit, like, share, subscribe, the shit that you do for other motherfuckers. Even donate if you feel like it. Whatever the fuck floats your boat. All right. And welcome to Critical Thinking. I am your host, Street Knowledge, Tony Black. I know it's been a long time since anybody even heard that. But what's good? Um, it's been a minute since we did Critical Thinking. Used to be one of my favorite shows to do in the morning. Hadn't had a lot of time to do this shit. But in honor of a few people who have requested it, in my guy, PT history, this is one of his favorite shows, and this is the actual show in which I met Murph through because of T history, because this was one of his favorite shits. But 6 degrees to separation. We all know how this shit go, right? But anyway, hey Capo, salute my sister, miss you. But this morning, as part of critical thinking, take a look back at one of my favorite movies in a conversation that I was having with somebody about that particular movie. But before we get into all that, I want to take out a few minutes of time with you all to take a look at some moments um, that my guy T History had over here on this particular channel. Me myself personally, it's probably plenty of people that spent way more time with him online, way more than I did. There's plenty of people doing live dedications and all that, and having full panels about the homie. And salute to them. That's a good look. That's cool. Uh, me myself personally, um, and for the people that's interested in information about his arrangements and stuff like that, we go over the Friendly Extortion page and T Murph. They both have information. Um, uh, I believe it's in the last live Friendly Extortion did. It's in the chat. Um, if you can't find it over there and you got a way to get in touch with me, rather through email or we communicate personally, I'll point you in the right direction. Um, I'm not like other people. I'm not gonna get on here and act like I know all this information that I don't know. I know the same thing everybody else know. You know what I mean? Same thing. I know when the service is. I know how you're able to watch it, stream it, all that, and that same information is all public knowledge. Haven't spoke to any family, anything like that. I don't know anything about cause of death. Uh, it's not my. Even if I did, it wouldn't be something I would be talking about on here. But anyway, about a year ago, um, hey G5, about a year ago, some of y'all might remember. It feel longer than a year ago. I'm dead serious. Like something, I don't know why it feels longer than a year ago because I swear, um, it had to be longer than a year ago. You know why it had to be longer than a year ago? Because it was when King's Disease, the first King's Disease came out. Nas first King's Disease, not the second one. It was the first one because it's actually the first live. The homie, my brother, um, Rodney, uh, dope MC, hit the link and we had the conversation and everybody ended the live off by freestyling. Y'all know I don't do panels a lot over here, but back then, you know what I mean? Real recognized real and real niggas tend to back then we had conversations over here. Um, hell, I was like 4 hours. I just put it back up on the channel. I don't know why I had that live on private. I have absolutely no idea. I do shit like that a lot. I don't remember why I put that live on private. I don't know. But anyway, that's besides the point. But they freestyle for maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Uh Dante, I didn't rap. I don't rap anymore. Um not my forte. I don't do that shit anymore. But Dante rap, uh the Prince rap, Mr. um from Marriage and Marijuana channel, who I met through T History, came up and blessed it. And more importantly, the homie T History came up and spit some bars. Not He ain't just give a 16. He gave multiple 16 as they all did a online cipher. Um I don't like the I don't like the brag and shit. But a lot of shit I don't like honestly. I don't want this to come across any type of way. But for the people who've been over here, been coming here for a while, it's a lot of things we did here first before. Anyway, I'm not even gonna get into all that. But anyway, I'm gonna spend a couple of minutes. It ain't gonna take long. We're not gonna watch 4 hours worth of live. Just a couple of bars from T History and a smidgen of an interview that he asked me to do. I can't remember if it's from the first interview me and him did together, the second interview. I remember the second interview that we did. It was some people in his chat that thought I was being an asshole. He understood why certain questions I didn't answer, but he also knew his job as an interviewer, and I understood his job as an interviewer. But me being me, and there's certain questions that I'm just not gonna, answer or whatever. But anyway, without further ado, let's go back. It's about a year ago, even though I swear it was longer than a year ago. Can anybody that's still left in the chat, can you look for me when Nas album King's Disease, not the second one came out last year, the first one, when the first King's Disease came out, I did a review, and that was the live that this epic um cipher took place. Which is really, really dope. I forgot all about this until just recently. I was going through videos, putting something together um to make a video tribute to the homie T History. And I was going through videos and going through videos. And it's so many goddamn videos on private that I had started going through those, and I ran across that one. Um, don't have a lot of clips from it because I'm saving them for something else. But here we go. I actually think I can't remember who rapping at the beginning of this one, but here we go.
Every day, nobody slinging a gun. Never really had a father who could call me his son. Bad enough we born in sin, so the damage was done. Every day we getting older, and days are getting colder. It's kind of hard to talk to God when the devil's on your shoulders. Please.
Yeah, I gotta stop. I gotta stop there for a minute, right? You know this was mad long ago because this is when T History was using the brick wall, and anybody that was around during that time, his sentiment and the reason why he was using the brick wall, because he felt like back then, during that time, a lot of people wasn't supporting him, and being as though it wouldn't be a lot of people in his chat, he always felt like it was like talking to a brick wall. So that's why, for anybody that never knew that, That's a little tidbit, even though he's said it 1,000 times, just in case anybody ain't never heard him say that. That's the reason why the brick wall was his avatar picture. But anyway, back to this so we can get into the show. All right.
Every day, nobody slinging a gun. Never really had a father who could call me his son. Bad enough we born in sin, so the damage was done. Every day we getting older, and days are getting colder. It's kind of hard to talk to God when the devil's on your shoulders. Please get me out these weeds. I got 8 C's. They scream for friendlies and Chuck E. Cheese. That's why I smoke so many trees. I need them G's instead of caught up with criminal thugs and dead thieves.
Okay. Like that.
Yo, no communication, low frequencies, horror vibrations, stress, depression, short
Just T
anticipation
history.
spans, land, mental lockdowns, global, no social commitment, can catch a life sentence, over trying to end a verbal statement I can't finish. A man of America has torn to women, vice versa. Perth, take a bag and stay silent. So the broke eager to mimic or be more violent, chasing America's dream, the cream, the moolah, the bag. When a nigga who bragged lost a check from suffering with your ass mad, wearing a mask, pick could be called. Uh,
I like that too.
That was one dope moment, and throughout this morning, I'll play another one later, and there's probably 3 in total. Um, but salute, shout out to the RP to the homie T History. That was my guy. Um, I was just saying he used to always think I ain't wanna hit his panel because of drama and shit. And it ain't that. I always used to tell him like it's not that. I'm just not a panel nigga. I'm a content creator. I'm not a panel type nigga. You know what I mean? Um, I know people might think it's street think cause he better than everybody. You know, talk to yeah. Is it certain widows I don't want to speak to? Yeah, cause I don't consider that shit, and that's just me. I don't consider that shit content. I don't consider that's just me though. I don't consider as a content creator a bunch of people sitting around on the panel talking about random shit. I just don't. I That's just not me. That's just not how I get down. You know what I mean? Um, but that was my guy. It wasn't even that. I just don't. Ain't a panel nigga. I'm a content creator. Us content creators, we talk. We like to talk. So there ain't no point unless I ain't got shit to say or I want to have a conversation or people that can add to a conversation. But what I don't like and the reason why I don't do a lot of panels here is because I am not, nobody's going to control my narrative. Nobody. Nobody. And people, and it's not, it's not it's not always intentional. You know what I mean? But that's just how we are as people. Sometimes we want to speak about things that we want to speak about. And we want the content creator to talk about the things we would like them to talk about. You know what I mean? Um, I do my shit a certain way. I do my segments a certain way. That's why even if people look back when the times that I do drop the link, it's always at the end of the show. The show is over. The actual show is over. So if you look back at any of those lives that's 3, 4 hours long, the actual show was an hour. I was done. The link got dropped. And then now you talk about whatever the fuck you feel like talking about. But now why the fuck I'm doing what the fuck I do? That's just me though. It might sound fucked up, but that's just me. That's how I do this. Don't tell nobody else how to do it. But RP to my guy. Moving on. Anyway, look back. Within the culture that I love so much, hip hop culture, as we all know. Um, One of the things or aspect of our culture that's or things that have contributed to our culture um, that helped it make it part of popular culture is outside of the music, of course. Um, Thanks, G5. And that's my guy. I mean, it's more towards his family and the people that knew him intimately. We had a dope relationship offline. Um, we had a lot of cool conversations. He always one thing that I can say about T History for anybody that knew him, if he believed in you or supported you, he did that shit wholeheartedly. You know what I mean? It's a lot of times people think support is about donating and shit like that. That's not. That's a form of support. You know what I mean? And I welcome this shit. Even though channels like mine, we don't get that shit, right? At least not as frequently as others, which I could give two fucks about. Um, because the people that do, it's enough that I look at this and know that they're doing it because they appreciate what I do. So I don't want to make it seem like I'm discounting those people. But I say all that to say it's some people that show their support in their actions, in their words, in understanding what you're doing. A lot of people, it always take them a long time to figure out what I do here because it's a little different um, than what you see in the sector. It's a little different than what you see on other aspects of YouTube, but it's not really. Right? Um, I do shit in podcast form and a little mix of radio, um, because it's formatted. Because I used to do radio, but other than that, only thing else is missing is the fact that I ain't yelling and screaming at some fucking body. That's the only thing else that ain't missing. Maybe I start yelling and screaming at people. I don't fucking know. But anyway, let me stop. Let me stop. That's not back to what I was going to say. Right. M- Movies have been a part of hip hop culture for a long time. It helped shape the culture. Some people think for the bad, whatever the fuck people think, but that's not what this conversation about. One of those movies, which is hard to believe that a lot of people haven't seen or even analyzed to the point of maybe me. So I done read the book, I didn't watch the movie, and the skip ahead, the movie that I am speaking of is The Godfather. Um, Godfather Part Two is probably one of the greatest movies, greatest stories ever told, um, in theater form. Right? They still use that the premise of that movie in screenwriting classes and shit, um, because of the way the story was told, which is a hard thing to do. Um, y'all done heard me say this shit 1,000 times. In writing the script, uh, Shakespearean writing, um, which has always been a thing, is steady a thing. Hey, Diva, salute my sister. What's up? That shit is important. Like, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people be thinking some shit got something to do with race and shit like that. It don't. It just has something to do with everything has a format, right? And it has a typical thing in a way. So when somebody looks at it, they know that you have understanding before they even start reading it, right? Um, but anyway, they use this as a format, even though it's unconventional, but it still sticks by typical Shakespearean writing. But within the confines of this movie, plenty of people have talks and debates about different aspects of the movie. People quote shit from the movie, all that shit. Um, the movie itself uses something everybody always like to say is the 48 laws of power. That is very evident and played out throughout all three movies. But and looking back, because I was just watching it a little while ago, and me and somebody was talking about Sonny. Everybody that ever have seen the movie, watched the movie, always says Sonny was a bad Don or a bad boss. Sonny wasn't at all. Sonny might have been hot headed and all that shit, but Sonny wasn't bad. Sonny was good for that particular time because they was at war. Sonny was good at war. I don't know how everybody always missed that shit. Like everybody always says that shit. And then every time I say what the fuck I'm about to say, people like, nah, because this, that, and the third. Sonny wouldn't even, the way that they wrote it, they want you to come away from the situation that happened with Sonny thinking, oh yeah, because Sonny was high-headed and he beat up the sister's brother, that's what led to the setup and being emotional. No, anybody, think about the circumstances. Anybody would have reacted that way. He wanted to fuck him up at the house. When he first seen her face, he wanted to whip that nigga ass. She begged him not to do shit. So when the phone call happened, and he went over there and put hands and feet on the nigga, which what he was supposed to do as a brother. Fuck the business, fuck all the other shit. That's what he was supposed to do as a brother. He was supposed to fuck him up. Now, the dummy, the bitch ass thing, because he ain't never gave a fuck about the sister in the first place. The sister wasn't bright enough to understand that he was only fucking with her for a position in the family. He thought that if he fucked with her, now this is never said in the movie, but it's certain things that you don't write in. You have people action show it when you're writing a script, right? You don't have to have a actor say something in order for it to come through in their portrayal of the character, right? It's just some shit is just basic common sense. He thought he got with her because he knew what her family was. He thought, all right, I'm going to get in this shit and I'm going to sit back and I'm going to be chilling. I'm going to get this paper. I ain't going to have shit to worry about. And I'm going to be chilling. He ain't realized shit was going to happen with Pops. And Sonny was going to be running the family. And because it's a war going on, that little book shit you got going on, going to have to chill. And now he mad because he look like a little sucker because he ain't getting no money. He drinking and whipping her ass because he ain't give a fuck about her in the first place. That's how they wrote that shit. That's how they portrayed that particular aspects of those two characters, right? Which they used him as a catalyst as before you ever, anybody that, whether you seen the movie once or 50 times, the minute that the dad and what's his name say it's a fucking rat in the family, and they never say who it is. They never say who it is. Automatically, the first person that comes to mind when I first saw it was him. He was the first person that came to mind. First fucking person that came to mind was fucking him. But anyway, to the point that I'm I'm getting to as far as the writing with Sonny. Everybody that took over for Pops was necessary for that particular time. So the logic of Sonny being a bad Don or bad boss is false. That would have happened no matter who it was, based upon those circumstances. Because of that sucker ass nigga. That was going to happen regardless. The other family understanding that he didn't like the way things was going, they approach him. He set it up to get rid of Sonny because nobody expected for Michael to be Michael. Michael didn't even, this is the thing, right? That scene, the infamous scene where Michael comes to the house and he talked to homie after he just gave him more duties. Check out how cold this scene is, right? Awesome fucking writing. This is how cold that shit is. Because as the person who's watching it or reading the book, you're looking at this shit like, this sucker ass nigga. Why the fuck is Michael giving this nigga more responsibility? Why the fuck is Michael making this nigga godfather to his fucking son? Well, what the fuck is you doing, Michael? Let's smack the shit out of you, Michael. What the fuck is you doing? He's a sucker ass nigga. But all that, this is the difference between Michael and Sonny. Doesn't make one a better Don than the other one. Michael's strategy was just different when dealing with people, even when it comes down to the war at the end, right? But anyway, when he come to see him, Michael don't know for certain that homie is the rat. He don't know that for certain. Nobody knew for certain. Did Pops have an inkling? Did the concierge have an inkling? Yeah, but nobody fucking knew. So when he comes there, after he done gave him all this shit, after he done gave him this responsibility, he done made him feel secure. Now he comes in there, he walks in there, and he says, all right, you got what happened? Who came to you? Don't lie to me. Who came to you? He don't know shit, but he's sitting there acting like he knows everything. Like, man, we know somebody came to you. We love you. Like, I got you. Like, just tell me. It ain't about you. It's about him. It's about, you know what I mean? Taking care of the person, took care of my brother, because now it's time for Michael to handle all the family business. And that included everything, even killing his own brother. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. I don't get into that. And dude sits there, he slumps over. First, he just look. The way that they wrote it, he just looked and he put his hand in his head. And then he names the person that came to him. And then Michael like, oh, okay, all right. Like, everything cool. Nothing gonna happen. All right, we gonna go take care of that. And we all know what happened. Next, he get in the car, he get choked out, all that shit. But again, it says nothing about the way Sonny chose to be done. Sonny was necessary for that particular time because they was at war. And Sonny was damn good at being at war. They was winning the war. That's the shit that everybody forget. They was fucking winning. Sonny was laying everybody the fuck down. Sonny ain't give a fuck. He was good at war. Pops knew he was good at war. That's why he was necessary for that time. Tom took care of all the other shit. Michael was good at, because nobody expected for Michael to be Michael. So it was easier for Michael, because a lot of people didn't take Michael seriously. He wasn't involved in the family business. He was in the military. He was supposed to be the one to go off and do other shit. He was never supposed to be there. Shit. I don't even fucking like Fredo. But Pops ain't even consider Fredo. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. But anyway, that being one of the movies that helped shape the culture that people speak of and talk about all the time, especially us old motherfuckers. That aspect, Sonny, the conversation about Sonny not being a good boss or good Don, always thought was weird. That people saw that way different than I did. Because it wasn't written. They didn't write it for you to come away thinking that way initially. You know what I mean? Like it's a script for Godfather Part 3. I don't know if y'all know this, but you know you can go online and get access to any script, any screenplay, and actually read it and shit. I don't know if y'all know that, but you can it doesn't matter if it was made or just purchased by a movie company. You can also purchase these scripts and screenplays that have not been picking up. That's how I found out about the bride thing. If anybody saw my community tab a couple of weeks ago, the the Crow, which is a comic book movie for those that don't know. For people that always got shit to say about comic book movies, but some of y'all favorite movies are based on comic books, and y'all just don't even know it. But anyway, Johnny Depp was originally casted in The Crow. The person that wrote The Crow didn't want Johnny Depp; they wanted Brandon Lee. But anyway, it was supposed to be a sequel to The Crow. Not that shit that y'all saw that came out after Brandon died and all that shit. After Brandon was killed. It was supposed to be called The Bride. As I explain it to you, it's going to sound familiar to you. It was supposed to be a young lady and a guy getting married at a church. Some gangsters and thieves and whatever supposed to come, and because church is supposed to have money in there, it's supposed to be one of those big Catholic churches. They were supposed to come rob the church, and they was going to murder everybody in the church. The Crow was going to come. The bride was going to go and avenge the death of her and her soon to be husband at the time. Miramax, when presented with that script, they purchased it, but they didn't make the movie because they didn't believe at that time that anybody would believe a woman lead character going around and laying a bunch of men down. That script, the baseline of that script, led to what y'all know as Kill Bill. Y'all probably like, Street, you bugging. I'm dead ass serious. It's not to say that Quentin Tarantino didn't write Kill Bill. He wrote Kill Bill. But how can I explain this the way it makes sense? Natural Born Killers, for those that don't know, is a Quentin Tarantino movie. Even though it doesn't say Quentin Tarantino name, it says Oliver Stone, right? Him and Oliver Stone had an issue with the directing. Quentin said, "Fuck you, buy me out. You can have this shit." But if anybody ever seen Natural Born Killers, you know that shit is a Quentin Tarantino movie within the first 10 minutes that the motherfucker come on, just from the writing. But anyway, in the process of writing Natural Born Killers and True Romance, he wrote Natural Born Killers as he was writing Kill Bill. Kill Bill turned into True Romance. He still was working on Kill Bill. When Miramax when he had the meeting with Miramax showed him the script of The Bride. This is as the story goes. They show him the script of The Bride. Quinn was like, I can do something with that. Actually writing something similar. It just keep turning into other shit. So I say all that to say, you don't get fucking probably ever get Kill Bill if you don't ever see the fucking rough draft of The Bride, which I think yo should get some writing credit for that shit. Cause honestly, it's damn near the same shit. Even down to the male character cowboy nigga named Bill. I'm dead serious. If you look up the script and read the script, outside of it having the Quentin writes pop culture lines and shit like that in his movies. His lighting is a certain way, his directing style is a certain way. His writing style is not traditional because he don't use Shakespearean writing at all. At all. He will kill the antagonist and the protagonist, or what seems to be, which is something that you're not supposed to do in Shakespearean writing. You're supposed to send your protagonist through a lot to make the audience connect with them. They're supposed to feel whatever, go through whatever, but you're not really supposed to kill a motherfucker at least in the first 20 minutes of the goddamn movie. You ain't supposed to do that. And then go back and tell what happened to you. You ain't supposed to do none of that shit. He does. That's why he'll never get a fucking Oscar, because he don't do the shit. But anyway, as I was saying, you can access these scripts a lot. It's a lot of them. Every movie company offers them. A lot of students use them as templates and shit to help them with script writing, because that shit is important of understanding the verbiage to use, like how to open a scene, how to open the scene where the two characters are speaking dialogue, which is two separate things. Your opening scene might not be nobody speaking any dialogue. It might just be the fucking sun rising, or the radio coming on, or the TV coming on, and the lead character getting in the shower, whatever the fuck the lead character is doing, catching a fucking cab. But the lead character 9 times out of 10 ain't actually speaking something until they're speaking to somebody that has a lingo. I think it's called, it's been a long time. I think it's like slug, or it's something with S, and it sound like slug, or the slug tag, the shit on the tip of my tongue, slug line, slug tag, some shit like that. If you Google it, you'll see that I'm close to it. But it's shit like that, that in looking at a script that these people look for, And when you go through and you look at a lot of these scripts, and you see scripts for all different types of fucking movies, it's a actual script for what would have been New Jack City 2, which makes absolutely no fucking sense. Which this is where I was leading to, is a fucking script out there for fucking uh it's Set It Off 2, Menace to Society 2, which none of these was written by the original people. Right? None of these scripts was written by the original people. These scripts was written by motherfuckers like me or you that wrote these scripts, submitted these scripts. And some of them got purchased. They just not gonna get made, or wasn't gonna get made at that particular time. It's not to say that they're not never going to get made, but they're sitting there. And a lot of them are just bad. They're just not good, and that's the reason why they're not being made, is because they're just not good. They don't read well. If it doesn't read well, no matter how good the story might be, if this shit don't read well, how the fuck I'm going to present this on screen if it doesn't even read well? You know what I mean? That's why a lot of them straight to can't even say straight to DVD no more. A lot of those straight to stream, like go on fucking Amazon or Tubi right now. Amazon and Tubi. It doesn't even matter which one. And look at a lot of the original content on there. A lot of the original content on there. And some of the stories are not bad. It's just whoever wrote them didn't understand plot lines or none of that shit. The writing is just bad. It's feature films. The writing was bad. The fucking Miami Vice movie. How the fuck do you have Jamie Foxx, and I can't even think of the other dude, as your lead characters in a fucking, and it's still horrible. It's still fucking horrible with two actors in it. It's still fucking horrible. And that's because the fucking writing was horrible. But anyway, long story short, you can go on there. You can go on these websites, and one of these days I'm gonna put the website in my community tab, one of the websites anyway, and you can look up these scripts and read these scripts or whatever. And it is a script currently going around about the early days of hip hop, loosely supposed to be based on actual events, but they're using fictional labels, fictional characters, shit like that. Which seems to be a really, really good story. Written very well. I can't think of the person name who wrote it right offhand, but it was picked up by Ersta or some shit like that. But it's a really, really, really dope script. Now I was looking at it and I was thinking like that's the type of shit. And we might not be around, some of us might not be around to see it. To see it happen, but for all the make believe shit that people think to themselves about the music industry in Hollywood when it comes to the satanic shit or all the other shit. And again, I'm not saying that shit don't exist, but sometimes the truth is way more sometimes the truth is way better than the lie or what people think. because I don't think you need to be in the industry to meet the devil. I don't think you have to experience the industry to meet the devil. Shit. I don't think you need to have money to meet the devil. I don't know why people correlate. I don't know why we do that as people or as a society, that we correlate money or success with evil, when evil exists everywhere, wouldn't just be there. 85% of the time, the people that's more prone to a lot of these evil acts are motherfuckers that don't have. But anyway, that's besides the point. I got another clip. Before I move on, I got another clip from that same. I think it was that same, from that same live with the homie T History rapping another 14. I think this one had about 14 bars on it. You know what I mean? But take this moment out to salute the homie. It's about 46 seconds. All right, we be right back.
Temperature August, no snitch, just pipe the bitch. Benji in the well, you a simp. Take it from a pimp, a kiss and never tell unless it stay in the story. Captain with luggage to kill for me. Bucks are bucks and chumps are chumps. No shooting slumps. The dealer just corrupt. Mind over matter, cruise the ocean. Wild computer with the chitter chatter. My team bout green on the go like the lights. In the beef in the middle of the night. Before shipyard, scream yard, view the lights. Just out of spite. Boston dog bite, we don't bark. Endless yellow tape, infinite white chalk. Another bozo whip get parked. Action with a knot because of your YouTube hot. Ah, fuck
that shit. Shit, I got one. I got one more. There.
I forgot how much fun that particular live was. It's fucking 4 fucking hours. I ain't had to do shit for 3 hours. I ain't had to do shit. I ain't had to say shit. I just enjoyed the show with everybody else. The homie was 43. But and I think a lot of people forgot that he rapped. Like that was the whole reason why he came over here. We did a lot of those back then. I probably got like 7 or 8 lives of Rodney, Dante, Prince, T History, rapping or talking about hip hop culture. Well, debating in studio. Actually, nah, it might have been the one after that one. Because one of these studios actually rapping on. In the last clip, as I get out of here, is from the interview that me and T History did, where we was talking about label shit, because we both had our experiences with so-called deals. Mine, I was young. I was a I don't know if I ever told this story before. Could have, can't remember. It's been doing this shit for so long. I don't even know half the shit I done said, or haven't said, or have said. When I was a kid, I was part of a rap group, for a group of friends of mine. We was called the Mafia. The Mafia. That was our names. I was the godfather, Antonio Capelli. It was like 8 of us. Man, it was like 8 of us. We used to all of us didn't write though. Only like 4 of us wrote. Because everybody wasn't good at it. But you know how it is when you're young, you want everybody to be a part of shit. So you do whatever you can for your friends to be involved. A friend of mine, mom was our manager and shit. We did talent shows every fucking where because that's what you did back then. It's not like things are today. Back then you had to do talent shows and win talent shows and um, hopefully get uh, a showcase or discovered from a talent show. Uh, or shit, even win some money because all that shit you're doing for free. We practice the outfits and shit we buying, the people that we're paying to create certain facades. Like we understood like showmanship, so we used to get girls like when we did talent shows at certain places. We used to get girls that we knew um, to be somewhere close near the front, so it give the perception that we're known and have them scream and they take out coats and shit. And I sat in the chair because I wasn't doing no dancing and no shit like that. I wasn't even gonna move around. I sat in a motherfucking chair. I sound bad as shit. My cousin Troy, he was the dancing nigga. He the only one that danced and shit. So we always had a portion of the show where he would dance and everybody be like, he the only one that didn't. I'm thinking about this shit. He the only one that didn't have a gangster name. Like his name was Diamond. Like why the fuck was that your name? Why was that your fucking name? The fuck? Anyway, Milk D had label deal or some shit like that. I don't remember the particulars behind his situation. I only know what our experience was. Well, my experience. I can't even say ours because I'm pretty sure everybody uh left those times in that situation with a different aspect or feeling about it. Right. Um we had a talent show that we lost. Came in like second place or some shit. To some little kids dancing. And we was little kids, but they was like little kids, like little babies, like 5, 6 years old dancing and shit. I hated that shit. I never understood that shit. Why they was even allowed to be in the, like they should have their own fucking talent show because this little kid gonna win, they cute, they dancing and shit. They ain't even talking about shit, they just fucking dancing. They gonna fucking win. They shouldn't even be in even eligible for this shit. But anyway, we lost, we came in second place, whatever. And but technically we still won because we um had he was there, his people talked to my people's people who was our manager at the time, and we was excited because we thought we was getting this deal that wasn't a deal per se. Wasn't a deal. It would have been a developmental deal. Um we wouldn't have got no money. And then they didn't want everybody. This is shit that we found out way later. We didn't know at the time, but they didn't want everybody. It's bad enough to deal with one little kid or two or three little kids, but you're gonna deal with 8 or 9 of these motherfuckers when that concept didn't even exist at the time. You know what I mean? This is before Wu-Tang Clan, to be honest with y'all. So that concept of a group didn't even exist. So even the as and take that and put it with little kids, they like, nah, they ain't fucking with that. We want this person, that person, and maybe that person, and this person we could do something with, but with the rest of them, whatever, whatever. But it was told to us a totally different way. But anyway, that was my um experience, which soured me on not the culture, because as everybody know, I love hip hop culture, but made me not really want to be a rapper it made me want to know the business and help people with the business side. Like as young, like I wanted to know the business. Now I want to know the business. Now I want to know that shit. I don't want to rap. I don't want none of that shit. I want to know the business so I can be just as smart as the rest of the people in the room. All right, because that's how a lot of artists get um and I don't even want to say taken advantage of or even fucked over because you're getting the opportunity, right? And the only thing that you're offering is whatever talent they believe you have. And they gotta hope that people that shit gonna resonate with somebody. So of course you're not supposed to end up with the greatest deal, your first deal. That's just basic common sense. Anybody that believe different than that is something wrong with you, unless you then proved that you can pull an audience, unless you prove that you didn't already made a name for yourself and shit like that. But if nobody fucking know you, especially back during them times, today different. It's a million fucking artists out here, motherfuckers that's making a living off that shit that just got 30,000 motherfuckers that know who they are. But that them 30,000 people make it so that they can live off of what they love to do. That's the difference between now and then. But anyway, as part of the interview, we had a conversation about that, and he shared his experience. A small portion of what he went through was something similar.
I almost signed to the same thing when I was out when I first came back to Boston, and same thing. Dude was like, "Yo, I don't think," but he told me straight up because I was with people and I would go. I got linked up. I put myself in a situation, but the dude was like, "Yo, you're not ready, but I'm gonna keep you here because I'm working on other people. But I'm gonna sign. I'm gonna put you down on a development joint, like what you're talking about." And it's funny, but at the same time, I knew at the same time I was kind of cool. Even still, I would have rocked with it, but I knew what it was. I knew it was stagnant. It was stagnation. It would have been stagnant. It was just a stagnant situation. And you definitely, for anybody who don't know nothing about, and I still a lot of stuff I don't know. But anybody who see this on the replay, anything, you don't want to sign your John Hancock on anything where somebody's gonna have you just sitting around and you're not doing nothing, and then you find or network and do something on your own. But this person got your name saying that you can't do that.
Yep, and a lot of these people, yeah. But that was him sharing his thoughts and experience. You know, especially back in those times, shit was so fucked up. Put in a lot of work. Like you had to work. We put in a lot of work at those fucking just leading up to the fucking talent shows. And that you doing not even for whatever little bit of prize that they had, if it was one. Um, even doing showcases and shit. I don't even know if they do shit like that no more. I don't even know. But all that shit was part of the process. So I think Miss Now, maybe why a lot of these some of these new artists, and I don't like to use put it too broadly because as I like to show over here on a consistent basis, that there's way more artists making really good hip hop out here than we realize. Dice said it best the other day, is that I think everybody forget because hip hop is popular culture that an underground still exists, and we keep labeling uh, what's mainstream as what the culture actually is now, and that's the furthest from the truth. And then half of that shit is not even selling what you motherfuckers think. Like Meg is not as big as y'all think she is. A lot of those little guys is not as big as y'all believe they are. Big is when Kendrick just dropped. They dropped the video and the world stopped for a minute. Right? And everybody talking about video. Fucking 150 million reaction videos to one video. The album dropped. It's a piece of art. It's not even that shit ain't for everybody. But it's a piece of art. This is gonna be a focal point in time when Kendrick album drop. Same thing next time Cole come out. The same thing when Like a Monat when Kanye West came out. Those are the moments. Those are the people making the waves within the culture. That as everybody keep talking about the motherfuckers that do drill or all the littles that they interchange out and shit that you can't even keep up with, they are barely moving product. Barely moving product. The social media following is popping, but they are barely moving product. So if you're not moving product, and that's the name of the game, no matter what that product might be, whether that should be music or clothes or whatever the fuck. If you ain't moving no product, you ain't making no fucking money. But the new currency is attention. That's the new fucking currency. That's what everybody go by. People go by. People adequate importancy on how many people know somebody or view somebody and not who knows that person or who that person know. A lot of y'all will be surprised that a lot of the important people around in these spaces ain't talking to a lot of people. For some, that's by design. For others, some people just don't always catch on. They catch the wave way later. Way later. I got a friend of mine that used to do internet radio that just started doing a podcast. I share shit every chance I get, which don't do too much now, but I share shit every chance I get. And eventually that shit gonna pop. And I sent him a message a little while ago, and I said to him, I said, yo, watch how many people start to come around and comment on and all that shit, the bigger the numbers get. Bigger the numbers get. And some of those people are even watching now, but for some reason they're not even saying shit. But watch how many more people have shit to say when they know more people are watching. I always think that shit is weird. People type their ass off the more people that's around. But anyway, salute. I'm gonna get out of here. Get me some fucking rest. Thinking about whether I should supposed to be off today. Thinking about whether or not I'm gonna go into work after my doctor's appointment or not. Not sure. But anyway, the tightest thing and on a bow. This morning's critical thinking, which was about The Godfather and my point of view of Sonny's role as Don in the impact of movies on hip hop culture, and that being one of them out of many, and it's a lot of them. Next time we're gonna talk about JD's Revenge and the impact of black exploitation on hip hop and a misconception that a lot of people have about black exploitation, and that being just to drop the seed to planet before we get there, that every black exploitation movie wasn't a black exploitation movie, if that makes sense. What you had happened was a time in history where it was black people making movies, and those movies made a little bit of money. So what you had Hollywood do was duplicate that with white writers. So all the movies that came out of that time frame are not black exploitation movies. People put them all under that moniker when it's not true. Superfly is not under that moniker. Superfly was written by one of us. The reason why the movie ends the way that it, but anyway, whole nother conversation. You can go back, and it wasn't even just. It was people concentrate on the black exploitation shit, and rightfully so. But it was also movies that you know what? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I had to show you better than I can tell you, because if I said it, motherfuckers ain't gonna believe it. But anyway, um, that's the biggest misconception: is every black exploitation movie was not a black exploitation movie. You know what I mean? Um, that's what we'll talk about on the next critical thinking, as part of movies that impacted and had an effect on the culture. And we'll talk about JD's Revenge on the next one, and the impact that that had in the whole concept of pimping and shit. But y'all be easy. I'm gonna leave y'all with a portion of that freestyle from the homie T history. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I'll see y'all around. You know what I mean? Be easy.
Temperature August, no snitch, just pipe the bitch. Benji in the well, you a simp. Take it from a pimp, a kiss and never tell unless it stay in the story. Captain with luggage to kill for me. Bucks are bucks and chumps are chumps. No shooting slumps. The dealer just corrupt. Mind over matter. Cruise the ocean. Wild computer with the chitter chatter. My team ball green on the go like the lights. And the beef in the middle of the night before shipyard, scream yard, view the lights. Just out of spite. Boston dog bite. We don't bark. Endless yellow tape. Infinite white chalk. Another bozo whip get parked. Action with a knot because he